Hey everyone, so today's class is going to be yoga to nourish the lymphatic system. So we have in our body a lot of lymph nodes, and the idea behind today's class is to kind of open up the channels around the areas where we have accumulations or bundles of lymph nodes. So we'll be doing a lot of repetitive poses, a lot of repetitive movements to kind of get into the lymph area around the chest, the neck, the hips, the abdomen. And for this one, all you'll need is a yoga block and also a hand towel. So if you happen to have one nearby, go grab it. We're going to use this towards the very beginning. And so let's go ahead and just begin by laying on our backs. So any comfortable position that you'd like to start in. I'm going to start here in constructive rest with the soles of my feet on the floor and my arms just out to the sides. And then just close the eyes. Let's begin to just tune into the breath, not changing it, just beginning to notice how we're breathing here. See if you can begin to sense the feeling of the body filling from bottom to top. And emptying the breath out from top back down to bottom. Let's see if we can find for this practice maybe just an even flow of breath. So try inhaling for the count of 5. And exhaling for the count of 5. And just continue to find that effortless breathing that we know that we can stick with throughout the practice. So nothing too complicated. Just about 30 seconds more here. And just settling into this nice rhythmic breathing pattern. And now if you have your legs straightened out, go ahead and put a bend in the knees now, soles of the feet on the floor, and reach for your hand towel. And all you're going to do is roll it up. Now we're going to hug the right knee in towards the chest and take that roll and place it right in the crease of the hip. So just gently, it doesn't have to be too rigidly in there, but just gently place it in the crease of the hip and then hug that right knee in. So the idea here is that we're applying some compression, just a little added compression to those areas where we have an accumulation of lymph nodes. And then the repetitive movement as we move throughout the practice is going to be really meant to kind of loosen up the fascia. We have a lot of lymph vessels, or our superficial lymphatic vessels are embedded in our fascia. So really, the more effortlessly we're able to move without restriction, the more all of these systems will function the way that they're supposed to. So now interlace the hands behind that right thigh, and we're going to flex the right foot here. Keep that compression of thigh onto belly and just really feel the sense of that towel or roll in the hip crease. And we'll keep that as we inhale, stretch the lower part of the leg and just point the toes at the top. As we exhale, bend the knee and flex the foot. And that's all we're going to do, is this little repetition. We have an added benefit here of this being a nerve floss for the sciatic nerve. But the same idea here, so as we loosen up the tissue, the vessels and the nerves can float more freely in the surrounding area, so there's no lack of movement there. They're not restricted, and they can do what they're supposed to. Nice and slow. We're in no rush with this class either, so all of our movements will be relatively slow. Let's take just a few more on this side. And then hug that right knee back into the chest again. Just applying that nice compression in the front of the hip. Good. And now we'll release and just switch sides, but take a moment here in between and just notice. Notice how it feels in the right side versus the left. It might feel a little freer. You might feel circulation improving there. Maybe even a little tingling. And let's do that same thing on the other side. So we'll just nestle the roll right in the hip crease and hug that left knee now in towards the chest. And just give it a light squeeze. With each exhale, just gently pulling the knee in just a little bit more, compressing the tissues just a little bit more. Release the hands behind that left thigh again. Continue to apply that compression with the thigh pulling down, and then flex the left foot. As you inhale, stretch that lower half of the leg, point the toes at the top. And as you exhale, bend the knee, flex the foot. So nice and slow. This one feels really nice. You might feel a little tugging in the back of the left thigh, maybe even right up near the sit bone. As we lengthen the hamstring muscles that attach at the top of the sit bone there, or the bottom of the sit bone, you might feel just that gentle tugging when we reach our end range. And just moving with your breath here. And creating this sense of pumping for the lymphatic system. Let's take just a few more. Now hug that left knee again in towards the chest, just a little bit more compression. Good. Release the left foot down. You can set the towel over to the side for now, and again, just take a moment to observe that sense of return or improved circulation around the hip. And now we'll hug both knees into the chest. And if you prefer to rock to your side, of course you can. Otherwise, roll on up to seated. And just let's take our right leg in front. So just an easy, simple pose here, sitting with that right leg in front of the left. And close the eyes, sit up nice and tall. Notice the breath. Blink the eyes open, and we're going to just take a light twist here. So float your left hand over towards your right knee and the right hand behind you. And let's start with just dropping the left ear towards the left shoulder. So getting a nice stretch on the right side of the neck. Remember, we do have a lot of lymph nodes in our necks and the sides of the neck. Good. And now tuck the chin, and you're going to roll the head forward and end up with the right ear over the right shoulder. So now a little compression in that right side of the neck. And roll the head back so that left ear is back over the left shoulder. And we'll do that a few times. So tuck the chin, compress the right side of the neck as you drop the right ear over the right shoulder. And then stretch the right side of the neck as we bring that left ear back over to the left. Good. And just one more time. Tuck the chin, roll the head, compress the right side of the neck. And then tuck the chin, roll the head all the way back over to the left, and just pause there. Maybe even shrug that right shoulder down a little bit, or walk your right fingertips back in space just a little bit. Now just lift the head, unwind, come back to center, pause here, close the eyes. Notice any change from side to side. Good. And then just lean back, fingertips facing forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the chest, and tuck the chin. Good. Slowly come forward, bring the arms forward, and find your way into a nice forward fold, compressing the hips and the abdomen here. And slide the hands back, and we'll just switch the legs. So cross the left leg in front now. Sit up nice and tall. And we'll take that loose twist to the left. So float your right hand over towards your left knee, and your left hand just kind of lightly behind you. And then we'll drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. We'll just pause there for a moment. Again, we're getting this nice stretch down the left side of the neck. And then we'll compress that left side of the neck now. So tuck the chin, roll the head forward, and end up with that left ear over the left shoulder. Good. Roll the head forward, resting that right ear over the right shoulder for that nice stretch for the left side. And then tucking the chin, rolling the head to the left. Tucking the chin, rolling the head right back to where you started. Good. And we'll take just one more. Tuck the chin, roll the head so the left ear's over that left shoulder. And last time, tuck the chin and come back to where we started, resting right ear over the right shoulder. And just pause there. Lift the head, unwind, drape the hands on the knees for just a moment. And then lean back, fingertips facing forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift through the chest. And slowly come forward, float the arms forward, folding in, compressing the abdomen and the hips. Good. And if you can from here now, we're just gonna roll on up to hands and knees, table pose. So just coming to this neutral table position for now, creases of the wrists underneath the shoulders, our knees are underneath the hips, and we'll take a few rounds of cat-cow. As we inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Feel that nice stretching in the front of the body. And then as we exhale, tuck the tail around the spine and sink the hips back towards the heels. Inhale, come forward, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the tail around the spine, sink the hips back towards the heels. One more, inhale, come forward, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the tail around the spine, drop the hips back towards the heels. Inhale, come forward, and let's take our right leg back behind us, toes down on the floor to begin, and just push back into that right heel, tuck the chin, feel that nice stretch in the calf muscle. And now as we inhale, come forward, lift the right leg up. And we're gonna do this really slowly. We have a few repetitive movements coming up here. So as we inhale, kickstand that left shin back behind you and raise the right arm up in the air for a modified side plank. And now as we exhale, drop the right hand down, tuck your right knee behind your left knee, and see if you can sit back into this cross-legged child's pose, compressing the abdomen and the hips. Inhale, come forward, open up into the side plank. Exhale, drop the right hand and the right knee down, sink back into our cross-legged child's pose. Inhale, come forward, lift the arm, lift the leg. Good, exhale, drop the knee, sink the hips, and press your way back. Inhale, come forward. Last time, raise the right arm up, and then you can choose to stay here this time or bend into the right knee, reach back, catch hold of the foot, and maybe look over the shoulder as you press foot into hand, hand into foot. And look down, square the hips, release that right leg. And then as you exhale, just step the right foot up between the hands. Walk the left knee back in space and reach for your towel again. Untuck those back toes. And all we're going to do first here is just lift up and place the towel right back in that hip crease. And then come forward once again. So we're applying that compression now in the front of the hip and the abdomen. Push down into the top of the left foot here and lift your left knee up. Good, pause there. And now see if you can dip your hips down as you lift your chest a little bit and lift your gaze. Good, drop that left knee straight down. Keep a light compression in the towel, and then inhale, rise up and bring the arms to a goalpost shape. So you might not rise up as far as you can because we want to keep that towel there, so you need to balance that a little bit. Take an inhale, open the chest, maybe even lean back and look up. And then as you exhale, just float the hands down to surround that right foot and shift the hips back. See if you can keep your right toes down on the floor here. Inhale, bend into the knee, lift the arms, goalpost the arms. And this time as you exhale, take a twist over that right leg. Inhale, open up. Exhale, drop the hands down to surround that right foot, shift the hips back. Inhale, come forward, float the arms up. Exhale, take a twist. Good, one more round. Inhale, open up. Exhale, drop the hands, shift the hips back. Inhale, bend into the knee, open the arms. And exhale, take your twist. And we'll pause here in this twist this time. You might press the palms into each other more firmly, or you can even take that top hand into a fist and gently push into the bottom hand. See if you can twist just a little bit more. Good. Look down, release the hands down. Let's tuck our back toes under and lift the back knee up off the floor. Good. Let's release the towel. So go ahead and just get rid of that towel for now. Pivot and plant your left heel. And as you inhale, rise all the way up to warrior two. Good. Nice warrior two here. Right heel's in line with that left arch. Stretch the arms, look over those right fingers for a moment. And then wrap your left arm behind your back and see if you can maybe find the crease of your right hip. And then reverse warrior. Right arm reaches up and behind you. Keep the left arm behind you and take the right arm to the right thigh for side angle pose. Right palm is facing up for now. Peel that left shoulder back. Look over the left shoulder. Notice that breath. And now we're going to keep the left arm behind the back, straighten the right leg, and just press the back of your right hand against your inner right shin. Keep looking up. This might actually help you align just a little bit better. Good, just a few more breaths here. Good, now release that left arm all the way up and over the left ear. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Good, as you exhale, take the hands down to the floor, drop the left knee, and now we'll shift the hips back, lift the right toes, and just melt into this nice hamstring stretch here. Slowly rebend into the right knee, slide the right leg back to meet the left. And then we're just gonna lower all the way down onto our bellies. And let's turn onto our right cheek and bring our arms out to a goalpost shape. And just pause there for a moment. Notice the breath, maybe feel the belly breathing into the floor. And now we'll bring our left hand underneath our head so the forehead's just resting on that left hand. As you inhale, lift your right arm up. We're going to keep that 90-degree angle there, but lift the right arm up as high as you can get it to go. And as you exhale, float it back down to the floor. Inhale, lift the right arm. Exhale, let it release. Inhale, lift the arm. Good, exhale, release. And this time we're going to add the left leg on. So as you inhale, lift the right arm and the left leg. And exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Good, exhale, release. Inhale to lift. Exhale, release. Let's add the head on. Inhale, lift the right arm, left leg, and lift the head, look to the left. Exhale, release. Inhale to lift everything. Exhale, release. One more time, inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Relax. Let's take the hands under the shoulders and press your way to a child's pose. So big toes touching, knees out wide, and just sinking the hips back towards the heels. Good, as we inhale now, coming forward again to hands and knees. And let's take those same cat-cows that we took the first time through. So inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. Exhale, tucking the tail, rounding the spine, and sinking the hips back towards the heels. Inhale, come forward, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the tail, round the spine, sink the hips back towards the heels. Inhale, come forward, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the tail, round the spine, and sink the hips back. Good. Inhale, come forward, pause here in this neutral table pose, and this time we'll take the left leg back behind us and start with the toes tucked. Push back into that left heel as you tuck the chin and feel that nice stretch in the calf muscle, maybe the Achilles even. Good. Inhale, come forward, lift the left leg. And then let's take our modified side plank. So drop that right shin out to the right, lift that left arm up, maybe gaze up. Exhale, drop the left hand down, tuck the left knee behind the right knee and sink back for that cross-legged child's pose. Inhale, come forward, side plank. Exhale, modified child's pose or cross-legged child's pose, sink it back. Inhale, come forward, lift the arm. Exhale, drop the hand, child's pose. Good, inhale, come forward. Once again, lift the arm one more time. Exhale, drop the hand, modified child's pose, sink the hips back. One more time, come through, lift the left arm, we'll pause here this time. And then maybe bend into that left knee, reach back, catch hold of the foot, and peel the left shoulder back, gaze up towards the ceiling or the sky. Good. Exhale, look down, drop the left hand down, square the hips, and as you exhale, step that left foot between the hands. And then you're gonna walk your right knee back in space again, reach for that towel, and roll it up right in the crease of the hip, and then just come on back down. We're just pushing down into the towel, applying a little extra compression there. Good. Now, untuck the back toes if they're tucked, push the top of the foot into the floor, lift the knee. Good. Now from here, see if you can sink or dip the hips down as you take your gaze forward. Just a nice deep stretch for the front of the right hip. Good. And now drop that right knee down and lift the torso, bring the arms to that goalpost shape, but keep that towel compressed there. So again, you might not come up as far as you could. So inhale, lean back, maybe look up. Exhale, drop the hands to the floor, shift the hips back, keep the toes down. Inhale, bend into the knee, lift the torso, float the arms back. And then exhale, take a twist, right elbow towards the outside of that left knee. Inhale, open the arms back up. And exhale, drop the hands down, shift the hips back. Inhale, bend into the knee, lift the arms. Exhale, take your twist. Inhale, open the arms. Exhale, drop the hands, shift the hips back. Inhale, bend into the knee, lift the torso, open the arms. And this time as you exhale, take your twist and just pause here. Again, if you feel like maybe you can twist a little bit more, take your top hand into a fist. Push it into the palm of your right hand and maybe twist just a little bit more here. Good. And now just look down, release the hands, take the towel out. Let's tuck the right toes and lift the right knee up off the mat. Then we'll pivot and plant that right heel. And inhale, rise all the way up to our warrior two. Oh. Good, stretch the arms, look over those left fingers. And now float the right arm behind you, reverse warrior. Keep the right arm behind you, take a side angle pose. Left arm to left thigh, left palm is facing up, peel that right shoulder back, look over the right shoulder. Good. Now we're going to straighten our left leg. The back of the left hand's just going to press against the shin and see if you can open up just a little bit more. Maybe take your gaze all the way up. Good. Release the right arm all the way over the right ear. Inhale, rise back up to warrior two. And then exhale, drop the hands down to the floor, drop that right knee down, and sink the hips back, lift the left toes for a hamstring stretch. Good, let's bend back into that left knee. Slide the left knee back to meet the right knee, and lower down onto your bellies. This time we'll turn onto the left cheek here at first, looking to the right. And again, just feel the belly breathing on the floor. Notice that nice pumping of the diaphragm. Slide that right hand underneath the head so the forehead will rest right on the right hand. As we inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, set it back down. Inhale to lift the arm. Exhale to release. Inhale, lift the arm. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift the left arm and the right leg. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift the arm and the leg. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release, and this time we'll add the head on. So inhale, lift the arm, the leg, and look to the right. Exhale, release. Inhale to lift. Exhale, release. Inhale to lift, last time. Good. Exhale, release, relax. Let's take the hands underneath the shoulders. Press up and back to child's pose. Inhale, come up to hands and knees, and now we're just going to take a seat here. So, just to be consistent, let's cross right leg in front of left. And you can either have, I'm actually going to have heel in front of heel here. So you can do that. That encourages the pelvis forward a little bit. If you prefer shin in front of shin, that's also okay. But find your way to a comfortable seat. And if you actually need to prop yourself up on something, you can go ahead and slide a block, a blanket, maybe even your towel underneath your sit bones there. But just take a moment to find a comfortable position and close the eyes. Notice the breath. Good. And now blink those eyes open again. We're going to take our right hand right next to our right hip and turn the arm around. So external rotation in the arm so that the fingers are facing backwards. And then just plop the right hand down on the mat next to you. As you inhale, stretch the left arm all the way up and over the left ear. Look under the left arm. As you exhale, drop the left fingers down and drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Inhale, lift the left arm up and over. Look underneath the arm. Exhale, drop the fingers, drop the right side of the head. Inhale, up and over one more time. And then as you exhale, drop the fingers, drop the head, and just pause here. Notice any sensations that you're feeling. So not only do we have a lot of lymph nodes up in this area, but we also have a lot of nerves up in this area. So you might feel a little tingling here. If you don't really feel much, you could press the palm into the mat a little bit more energetically, and maybe even more external rotation. So imagine dialing your right thumb back in space. Just let the head be heavy. Maybe lean the head back just a little bit. Get a little bit more of that stretch in the left side of the neck. Good. And then just really carefully come back to where we started. Take a moment to notice. And then let's switch sides. So crossing the opposite leg in front now. Find that comfortable position. And then we'll take our left hand down to the floor next to us, externally rotate the arm, and set the palm down, fingers backwards. And then as we inhale, swim that right arm all the way up and over, look underneath the right arm. As we exhale, tap the right fingertips down, drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Inhale, raise the right arm up, look underneath the arm. Exhale, drop the right ear towards the right shoulder, drop those right fingertips down. And then just one more time, up and over, look underneath that right arm. And as you exhale, drop the right fingertips down, drop that left ear towards the left shoulder. And again, just pause here. If you're not feeling a lot, you could push that left palm down and imagine dialing the thumb backwards, a little bit more external rotation, and then just let the head get a little heavier. Good. Maybe lean the head back in space. Slowly and carefully come back up, pause there for just a moment. Good. Now we're going to lie down on our backs and grab your yoga block, and we'll just lie down on our backs and notice how we feel first before we do anything else. So I always like to kind of just check in with the low back, let the low back muscles settle down just a little bit. Now lift the hips, slide the block underneath the sacrum. And just pause there. If this feels like a nice elevation or a nice height for you, stay here. If you think you might have a little bit more though, go ahead and lift the block to the second tallest level. Good. And then really carefully, making sure that you feel steady there, we're going to bring the knees up towards the chest. And then if you still feel steady, extend the legs straight up towards the ceiling. So this on its own is creating that sense of venous flow, blood flow, back to the heart, lymphatic flow. So this is a really nice one to do. We're just going to assist this one just a little bit more. So as you inhale, stretch the toes up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, just flex the feet. Good, and just continue to do that back and forth. So encouraging the lymphatic vessels to have this nice sense of flowing, loosening up any tissues that might restrict the flow. Remember, they're embedded in the fascia. The superficial lymphatic vessels are embedded within our fascia. Good. Now see if you can just kind of mix it up. So just bend one ankle and point the opposite toes, and back and forth here. You can go as slow or as fast as you want. All right, so even that out, and then really carefully bring the feet back down to the floor. Lift the hips up and slide the block away. And then just one more little bit of compression here. Pull the knees in towards you. And now stretch the legs all the way down to the bottom corners of the mat. And find your way to just this comfortable resting position for Shavasana. Close the eyes. And take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it go. And just take a few moments just soaking in all of that nourishment. Ready to start to move the fingers and toes, rolling the wrists and the ankles, maybe stretching the legs forward and stretching the arms back behind you. And as you exhale, gently pull the knees in towards the chest. Slowly roll on up to a seated position. Maybe bring the hands to the heart or let the hands rest on the knees. And thank you all so much for watching. Stay healthy. Namaste.